Howdy crew, gonna go over some extra stuff for the welding rig. Let's get to it. So I know I've been showing quite a bit on the channel of the welding rig being put together, everything that's been going on, and that's not even a fraction of what's been going on. Honestly, just most of the stuff, it's not stuff that can be vlogged very well, not stuff that can be put on camera very easily. It's just something I can talk about. So like dealing with stuff for the attorneys, trademarks, dealing with insurance, going back and forth, making sure everything's right, filling out applications, pages after pages. This one document that had to be filled out was 40 pages worth, and it's the entire page has to be filled out of this or that information on this or that, and it goes on, scanning, then having to do another document once that's gone over by the insurance brokers, all that good stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on. So you may see all this being put together, but it's not everything. It's not just going and saying I want this truck and ta-da, it's there. It's not just going and pointing at a welding machine and surprise it's in the truck bolted down. There's a lot of calls that have to be made. There's a lot of measurements that have to be made. I've been doing a lot of measurements lately on the truck. I'll be going into that in more depth later, but it's been several days since I've slept, and it's just going on and on, stuff for the welding rig. But for me, it's worth it. I just keep going because I know it's going to pay off. Sure, sleepless nights aren't the most fun, and if y'all have those, I'm sure y'all know what that feels like. But when you know something's worth it, you don't feel the burn as much. You don't feel the lack of sleep as much throughout the next day. Sure, you're tired, but it feels, I don't want to say necessarily good, but it does kind of feel good because you know what's going to be made of it. You're not just staring at a wall in the middle of the night. You're doing stuff. You're in the middle of the night doing stuff for a welding rig. You're either doing measurements on it, you're forming emails for all kinds of different places, whether it be accountants, attorneys, insurance people, trying to make sure that you are filling out those applications right. Do you need to be able to do this, and they need to cover you for that? What do you think that you'll be doing out there? Not just normally you'd be doing this. Do you have a possibility of doing that? Is that something that you want to have in your realm? And it's a lot of stuff going on at night, being on my Amazon business account for the company for hours on end, find the thing that takes up the least amount of space but does the best amount of job, but also for the lowest price possible, but still having quality. And it goes on, looking for one item, hours on end, and then you find out that won't work. You got to find out another solution, or you got to know what you have to fabricate on the truck. There's going to be some fabrication stuff coming up on the welding rig once certain things come in. I'm going to go over that in a later vlog. But you got to be brainstorming constantly. There's no break. There's no time to just not think about the welding rig. It's not, oh, you get to allocate 8 hours like you would a normal job and then you stop. No, you go for 48 hours plus of just constantly working on the welding rig. You don't get to sleep. You don't eat for a day, and you just keep going. And for me, it's worth it. Granted, do I love sleep? Yes, I do. And am I planning to get sleep? Hopefully soon. But also same thing with food. Do you like food? Everyone does. But when you're working on this, you just forget about food. You forget about sleep. When you're working so hard on it, it doesn't matter as much for needing that sleep, needing that food. Because my drive to get this done, to have it the best it can be my way, that's what matters. And I know there's all kinds of people all over the world that would have a welding rig their way, but that's them. I want it done my way. And that's just how I am. The way I have it done, I've learned a lot of things. There's things I could improve on if I were doing it all over again, but also it's my truck. I'm doing it my way. I'm not going to be told what to do. I'm not going to be told that I need to do this or that. It's going to be done my way. If I want something done a certain way, I'm going to do it. And I will find the best avenue to do it my way. And that's just me. That's why I don't want to be underneath an employer. I don't want to be in a company. I don't want to be in a union. I've been under unions. I've worked for the government. I've done all kinds of stuff. and no more. Sure, I'll contract to them if they have a job site, but I'm not going to be working for them as an employee under them. So I'm not going to be in the union, not going to be under a company, not going to be working in the government. Again, it's going to be all me. And this welding rig is me doing it. And that's what makes all this worth it. Sleepless nights, days without sleeping. And thank you again to my very best friend. She tells me, like, you need to eat, you need to sleep. And she reminds me, like, hey, you got to eat today. Or, hey, you really need to sleep. You haven't slept in 2 days. You need to sleep. So I really appreciate that. But I just forget because I plan to go to bed at a certain time. And my alarm for the next morning goes off. And surprise, I've been working all night. But I've just been working hard on getting stuff done, measurements done, trying to find the best price, best quality product. Is there something else out there? What are the reviews on it? It's another thing, searching reviews for stuff that's going to go in here that's not even in here yet. And it's just, it goes all night. Before you know it, it's the next day. There's appointments throughout the day that have to be made for the attorneys, for the registration of trademarks, which y'all will be seeing soon on the truck, and you'll be seeing all that. Website's been working on. I have the business cards done, and y'all will be seeing that soon. It's just been go, go, go nonstop. But it's what it takes. At least for me, that's what it takes. I put in the effort, and to me, it's worth it. I really enjoy being able to say, I did this. This was me. This wasn't someone handing it to me. This wasn't someone giving me money for it. And there's no loans. I worked years and years to build up cash to buy all this, to where if I want, I'm going to get it. And that's what makes it all worth it. Being able to say, this wasn't just when it started being shown on the channel. This wasn't when I just started the actual process last year, middle last year, beginning half of last year. This was years and years ago of wanting this and building up the money to do all this. It was all me. And I really enjoy being able to say, like, I did this. I can spend a sleepless night or two doing this, sleep for another night, not sleep for another day or two, and keep going, because it's all worth it. It's not doing something that's not enjoyable. Sure, there are frustrating moments. Sure, there are moments that are not as fun dealing with things, as y'all have seen through the entire process. Delays, those aren't fun, but there's still always something to do, and I push forward on all those moments. There's not a moment that I've just sat back and, oh, this didn't go well, that didn't go well. No, there's no time for that. That's laziness, and I hate laziness. I hate it so much. And you can see this and say, oh, well, all you have to do is go buy this or go buy that. There's so much more involved. It's hard to just put in one vlog, and I will try and get more vlogs out talking about each process, whether it be the website, trademarks, insurance. There's a lot to go into that. But you got to be responding to things every day. You got to be looking up stuff every day. I would like the best price on things. If someone else would like to pay way more than what's needed, then that's on them. If they want low quality, then that's on them. I'm not like that. I want the best quality I can get for the best price I can get. And I try and balance that out without spending boku bucks on something, but also not having something that's low quality. So it's a give and take, and it takes a lot of time to do that. It takes a lot of research. It takes just time. It don't matter what time it is. It don't matter if it's 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning. You got to get it done. And you can spend from 2 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon on one thing, and then from 2 in the afternoon till 2 in the morning on the next thing. And you have another thing, and you have another thing. It just keeps going, and it doesn't stop. I've been from pre-light hours to after dark, working on this thing, out and about, having to go pick things up, do certain measurements, go find something else, see if it would work. That didn't work, go somewhere else, see if something else will work. And it's just go, go, go nonstop, and it's worth it. But if you're wanting to do this, you got to find out whether being up several nights in a row, no sleep, not eating for a day, if you have that drive, do you have that go? For me, I do, because I want this so bad. I've been wanting this for so long. I've worked years building up the cash for this, and it's gonna happen. I don't care what happens, it's going to happen. There's nothing that's gonna stop me. No one, nothing, not an instance, not a scenario, not any person, not any group of people will ever stop this from succeeding. I will make sure of that. And it's just, that's my drive. That's me. That's what I do. When I have something that I want to get done, it's going to get done. It don't matter what happens. People, person, scenario, situation, time frame, it don't matter. It will happen. And it's happening. It's going to continue happening. It's going to be very profitable. It's going to keep going forward. It's going to start hopefully soon. I know there's been delays. I know I keep saying like hopefully it's going to be this week, and then something happens and then everything gets set back again, but it's going to happen. There's no doubt. I know it's going to happen. So anyways, kind of just an overall vlog, and just there's going to be things they're going to be going to in the future, whether it be websites, insurance, logos, all that stuff, trademark applications, dealing with the attorneys, dealing with the accountants, and going into more stuff that's going to be for all this. I know there's some other things I have to go over that haven't been gone over yet, so I will be putting that in there. But I just want to put it out that if you want it, you got to go get it. No one's going to hand it to you. I mean, some people might get it handed to them, that ain't me. And you got to go get it. You got to spend days without sleep doing stuff. You got to spend as much time as possible. If you forget a meal, you forget 2 meals, you forget 4 meals, you got to keep going. That's what you got to do. And I love it. I really enjoy it. I have not regretted a single part of this process. Sure, there's been delays, sure, there's been frustration in it, but I love every bit of it. And I hope that if you're going into this, that you have that same drive, that you have that same want, because it's going to take it, it's going to need it, especially with setbacks, delays. You're going to need that drive. So many people will quit. Are you that person that's going to keep going forward? Are you going to be that person that doesn't quit? Someone comes up to you and says, hey, that's a stupid idea, or hey, I would have done it this way, why are you doing it that way? I've heard it. You got to keep pushing forward. Who cares what they think? If they want their own rig, let them get their own rig. Do their own stuff. This is mine. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I love suggestions. I love hearing ideas, and I've thought about some of them, and some will be incorporated, and that's fantastic. But don't let anybody tell you what to do. You let someone tell you what to do, it ain't your own rig. It ain't you doing it. That's just my thought process. That's just my opinion, but I believe it as fact. There's nobody going to tell me what to do with this. Nobody going to tell me what to do in life. Nobody going to tell me how to operate my business, how to run it, how to be a person. Nothing. And I encourage everyone to be that way. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. You don't like what I'm doing? Go do your own rig your way. There's nothing that I can do to stop you, and I won't even do anything to try. That's not my place. You do you. If you want to build a welding rig, go for it. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anyone discourage you. Keep pushing forward. You want it bad enough, you go get it. It don't matter how long it takes. It don't take 6 months. It don't take a year. It takes years of work building up money. It takes a long time putting it together, as you all have seen. Definitely longer than I expected. A lot longer than I expected, but it's going to happen. And it's going to work. And you got to have that mindset. You got to keep pushing forward. You got to keep going. And I just want to put that out there. And I know it's been a lot more overall vlog than I originally planned, but hopefully tonight there will be some sleep instead of the last week where there's only been a night or 2, 3 nights, I don't remember, sleep. So anywho's, stay healthy out there. If y'all are losing sleep, get some sleep, make sure you eat something. And I really appreciate my best friend for reminding me to do the same. And I will be certainly trying to do that tonight. And yeah, you want some, go get it. Go get it. I highly encourage that. There's nothing more rewarding than going and saying you did it. It's not you being told what to do. Some folks, a union company may be your best option, maybe what works for you, and go for it. I'm not saying anything against that. You like that? Go for it. Who am I to stop you? I'm not here to say anything against that. But you want your own welding rig, if whoever's saying you can't do it, prove them wrong. They're holding their breath, make them suffocate. You know, don't let anybody tell you what to do. And I've heard other folks say, well, so-and-so told me it wouldn't be a good idea at this moment. Well, when is a good moment? When is a good time to start saving money for it? When is a good time to go look for trucks? When is a good time to go do that? There's never a good time. At least I never found one. I just went and did it. I found the best opportune time and went and did it. But there's by no means a perfect moment to go do any of this. So, anywho's, just wanted to put this overall vlog out there. There will be much more on the topics I haven't been able to cover, so I will get those out as soon as I can, which will be a little bit down the line. Hope y'all are looking forward to it, and I hope y'all enjoyed watching all this stuff, this vlog, and there will be much more coming up. See y'all in the next vlog.